if I would rank these guys, okay? If I would rank these guys from like, yeah. As I said, if I would rank these guys, I would definitely go with Pontiff Augustine first. It's like boom, highest. Yeah. Then today I'm gonna go through how I evaluate if I need a certain champion or not. We're gonna do this with all the Assassin's Creed champions that recently came out. So let's go. We're starting off with Ezio Auditore. Okay. And me having a hood on has nothing to do with me trying to be Ezio. Okay. Alright. So let's start off with this kit, and then we're gonna evaluate if I need this character or not. Now, just to point out, when I say need, I mean really need. The stuff that I'm playing now, Arena, Clan Boss, Hydra, Chimera, like all these places, Grim Forest, Doom Tower, what am I desperate of? What am I not achieving yet that I need to achieve? Can these champions sort of fill that position? Ezio you get for free, so that's kind of like, hey, nice. But let's go through it. The kit attacks one enemy on his A1, has a 75% chance of placing a decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. This debuff cannot be resisted if this champion is under Perfect Veil or Veil. Straight off the bat, synergizes maybe well with Elva, but he might put Perfect Veil on himself. I'm assuming he does. His A2, Da Vinci's Design, attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing 2 5% poison debuffs and 25% poison sensitivity debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. This is kind of nice with Xenomorph. These debuffs cannot be resisted if this champion is under Perfect Veil. I'm wondering if we're building him with accuracy or not, because I mean, if he's under Perfect Veil, this is just not being resistant. Like, he's still hitting them. Instantly activates all poison debuffs on enemies under 4 or more debuffs. If any enemies are under a Stone Skin buff, has a 75% chance of placing 2 bomb debuffs that detonate after 2 turns on them instead. These debuffs cannot be resisted if this champion is under Veil or Perfect Veil buff. If all enemies are under a Stone Skin buff, decreases each bomb debuff. Okay. The bomb thing is kind of interesting, and the activation of the poison as well, but honestly, what I take from this is just like the poison and the poison sensitivity. That's like the big two. Because when you read poison, I'm thinking poison sensitivity immediately. I'm also thinking the Arachnid Elixir, which I do not have, but that would probably fit him very well. His A3, Hidden Gun, attacks one enemy before attacking, steals all buffs from the target. This effect cannot be resisted if this champion is under a Veil or Perfect Veil buff. Will ignore 35% of target's defense as well as shield and strengthen buff. So the stealing of all the buffs is something that I value quite a bit, just because there are times when you're like, oh fuck, I really need to take these buffs off. For example, like in Grim Forest, there are certain bosses that you really need to just remove all the buffs or all the healing, or well, yeah, all the continuous heals and that sort of stuff. But I mean, yeah, removing the buff is great. But yeah, let's read this. We have 2 passives. Okay. Everything is permitted. Whenever an enemy's HP drops below 25% after receiving damage from any assassin, they receive additional bonus damage proportional to this champion's attack. This bonus will ignore 100% of the target's defense and can. Oh, damn. Okay. That's kind of neat. And then we have fully synchronization. Place it. There we go with the Perfect Veil. Place a Perfect Veil buff on this champion for 2 turns at the start of each round. Whenever this champion is about to receive damage that would exceed 50% of their max HP, has a 35% chance of decreasing the damage received to 0 instead. Whenever this champion is attacked, also has a with counterattack. Okay, wait, that's yeah, I thought if the A1 spread poison, that would be fucking cool, especially with the passive there. But okay, what's his cool? Like, okay, it's a 4 turn, and then you can book him down to 3 turns. But that's, how many books is this? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, okay, yeah. you'd kind of want this on a 3-turn, obviously. With, however, just look, I'm thinking out loud how this guy could work. With Xenomorph and this guy, and with Donnie, that could be a really nice sort of, you know, rolling out a bunch of freaking poisons. From what I've heard and from what other people have told me, poison isn't that great now, and it feels like they're sort of pushing poison being strong, with all the points of sensitivity and stuff like that. I love him personally, like I love poisons and everything, but yeah, I think this could be really cool for, like, if you're struggling on Clan Boss, you have Xenomorph and Ezio, I think this is gonna help so much, and you got them for free, so that's a huge boost for a person like that. Other than that, I'm not sure if I'm gonna use him in arena. I'm not sure. I'm reusing the turtles right now, and that's doing pretty good, and I'm assuming he's gonna be very squishy. And what's his ratings? Okay, Chimera, Hydra. See, I'm looking mostly at Hydra and Chimera, for the simple fact that that's sort of where I need to sort of up my game, because I need to clear the chests. I don't feel like he's one of those champions. My Sacred Order Factions Wars is cleared. Dragon Slayer probably with Xenomorph could be cool, but honestly, I think he'll be fun to test out, but is this character a need to have for me? I don't have a bomb champion, but I haven't tested him yet. I have him geared out and everything, but I haven't tested him yet. Looking at this, he's not a need to have for me. He's a nice to have, but yeah. Okay, so that's Ezio. Let's go on with Cassandra. Now, Cassandra, there has been some mixed reviews on her, and she's in the Argonites. The first Argonite rolling out, yeah, man, I don't know. It's not the strongest first champion, is what I've heard at least. Actually, I've heard mixed reviews about her, 100%. All right, let's go through a kit. Her A1, West Wind Rush, attacks one enemy 3 times, attacks one enemy 6 times instead if this champion has. Holy shit! Again, Clan Boss like Chimera, 22 reviews. Each hit decreases the target's each hit decreases the enemy's turn speed by 7.5% and increases this champion's turn speed. This effect cannot be resisted if this champion is under available. Whoa! Holy shit! She must be good at Fire Knight. Damn. A1 sounds like attacks one enemy 6 times. Damn. All right. Her A2, Spear of Leonidas. Attacks one enemy. Before attacking, places a 60% decreased debuff and an HP burn debuff on the target for 3 turns. Nice. These debuffs cannot be resisted again with the Perfect Veil. Okay, kind of get it. I feel like that's going to be a running theme of all these assassins. Plays a stun debuff on all enemies for 1 turn if the damage dealt by this skill is more than 50% of the target's max HP. Okay. This... Wait, what? Really? Okay. This debuff cannot be resisted if this champion is under... Yeah, okay. Stun on all enemies in PvP is kind of nice. I'm assuming this spear is doing a bunch of damage. But, okay. Interesting A2. A3. Removes all debuffs from this champion. Okay, heals them by 50% of their max HP. And fills their turn melee by 50%. Places a 50% increase attack buff, a 15% shatter buff, and a 30% increased speed buff on this champion for 2 turns. Okay. The 15% shatter, I believe it's the big one. Yeah, it is. Prevents this champion's death and keeps them alive on 1 HP if they're under a increased attack buff, shatter buff, and increased down to 4 turns. Okay, on 2 passives. I assume it's gonna be one of those Perfect Veil ones. Whenever an enemy drops, I can't read today, dude. Whenever an enemy's HP drops below 25% after receiving damage from any assassin, they receive additional bonus damage proportional to this. Okay, well, this is basically the same. Yeah, this is maybe the passives run through all of the assassins. A lot of Sparta. Whenever this champion attacks an enemy, increases this champion's attack by an amount equal to 50% of the target's defense. Whenever an enemy attacks this champion, increases this champion's defense. But okay. Okay, let me have a little look here. Okay, one thing here. I'm just looking through her kit. I've read through several times now, and there's one thing I'm a little bit like, it's so weird because I'm assuming she has perfect veil, but looking at this, I can't wait. Hold on, I really need to read through the kits again. She must have an perfect veil, otherwise this is just not making sense to me. Okay, I read through it like 3 or 4 times now. She doesn't have a perfect veil, and each okay, all right, well, that's I don't know. That's so freaking weird. Like, her kit is interesting. Her A1 attacks enemies, one enemy 6 times. Damn. Spear of Leonidas sounds like one of those abilities that's gonna hit like a freaking truck. And they remove all debuffs from this champion is kind of cool. I wish it was for all of them. But yeah, man, it's like I read her kind of cool, but the fact that she doesn't have perfect veil, or she can't enable it on herself, makes me question it a little bit, because her A1 and her A2, I wouldn't say rely on perfect veil or veil, but is definitely helpful with veil or perfect veil. This is one of those things where I feel like Elva needs to be in and needs to put perfect veil on her, but I don't know. I feel like this is the fusion as well, and I'm not going for the fusion, but it feels like I would say she feels like an interesting character to sort of play around with. Bottom line, I feel like you're gonna be like a little bit disappointed in the end, but kind of like, it's one of those champions like, oh, that ability is really cool, but the rest is kind of eh. And I feel like Spear of Leonidas is like, could be really like such a cool ability, but I don't know, man. Other than that, and the A1 kind of cool, but yeah. What no, this is not correct. Yeah, there's not enough ratings. Yeah, again, definitely not a need to have. This is not even a like, it's a fun to have. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I'll try her out, but also you kind of want to book her to some degree. Yeah, 6 turn. Yeah, you kind of want to book her. Yeah, this is not gonna be one of my main characters for sure. If I had books to spare and really good gear that I could throw on someone because I just have so much of it, yeah, it's one of those where it's like, yeah, if I have enough of everything, sure, I'll give her a try. But on that, nah, man, sorry. Well, next one is Basim, and he's Sacred Order, so let's have a look at him. Alright, Basim in Shaquille O'Neal. Here we go. Let's read through his kit. A1, Dagger Swirl. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing a 25% weaken debuff for 2 turns. If this champion is under a veil, yeah, running theme here. The chance increases to 100%. Cool. My question is, can you put perfect veil on yourself? If you can't, I'm seeing like a big problem here with all these champions except Ezio. But okay, then it has a 50% chance of applying a debuff spread effect. Oh, taking 1 random debuff from the target and placing it on all enemies. If this champion is under, it makes it 100%. Taking 1 random debuff. Okay. So let's say, I mean, you're probably tossing a bunch of debuffs on enemies, but like, man, it's just 1. Maybe it would be too OP if it's just all of them, but you kind of want the poison, but you also want the poison sensitivity. But yeah, I mean, this is only his A1 as well, so far so good, I'd say. His A2, Up in Smoke, attacks all enemies, will ignore 15% of each target's defense, will ignore 30% of each target when if the perfect veil. Cool, got it. Has a 75% chance of placing a block active skill debuff for 2 turns. This debuff will ignore any block debuffs if this champion is under. Okay. Block active skill thing is kind of cool. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not so sold on the guy yet, but here's his A3. Winds of Baghdad. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Deals 5% more damage for each buff and debuff on this champion. And 5% more damage for each buff and debuff on the target. Okay, so this is gonna be like a... This hits hard. Places a perfect veil buff on this champion for 3 turns and grants an extra turn. There we go. Booking it down, you go 4-turn cooldown, but you ensure the perfect veil. Yeah, cool. You kind of need that. All in all, okay, yeah, the passive, I feel like this is the same. Masterful Thief. Whenever this champion's attacked, steals 1 random buff from the attacker and transforms 1 random debuff from this champion's attacker. These effects will ignore polymorph. Okay. 1 occurs 1 per skill. Will ignore 25% of the target's resilience when using skills if this champion is under a veil, perfect veil. I mean, the kit doesn't sound that good, and I don't like all of these champions so far. Is it's not like I've read any of these kits and been like, oh my god, I need this. You know what I mean? And I've gone through 3 legendaries so far. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like you kind of need to test the guys like the champions out, because my first opinion is this nothing is making me go like holy shit. But you know, maybe I'm just like maybe these champions are like super cool, super good together, or like they're like super OP. Like their abilities might be super strong, but you really need to test them out. But reading them through, man, this is definitely not a need to have. Nah, man. I don't know. A2 is kind of interesting. Again, not a need to have for me, not at all. Like, it's not even. Again, it's not even a nice to have for me. It's one of those things like, if I had him for free, if I had the gear on him, I might have been like, yeah, okay, let's test him out. But I mean, damn, not coming off that strong in 2026, to be honest. Like, yeah, as far as Assassin's Creed, I'll be completely honest. If I had to put them up against Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, holy fucking shit, they don't stand a chance. I've played Assassin's Creed, but nothing beats Ninja Turtles. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing, collab thing, it's the best thing they've ever done in the game. From what I know, from what I've played, it's the best thing that I've experienced. But I also feel like that's like, did they peak? Did they peak at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? No, but that collab was so amazing. All right, Edward Kenway, where is he? There he is. Man, can one of these guys be like super fucking good? Cause I'm reading. Okay, here we go. I'm smelling HP burn, but let's see. Is A1 Privateer Blitz attacks 1 enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 75% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 15%. Each hit will decrease the target's turn meter by 25% instead if the attack is critical. This effect cannot be resisted. Please be an HP burn on all enemies, please. Wait, what the fuck? It's not an HP burn at all? Okay. Fan the Hammer is A2. Attacks all enemies 2 times. The first hit steals all buffs from all enemies. That's cool. And decreases each enemy's turn meter by 20%. This effect cannot be resisted again. Oh, cool. I'm wondering, do you need to build accuracy on any of these champions? Just be sure to have them in perfect veil, I guess. But yeah, the second hit has a 75% chance of placing a sleep debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. This debuff will ignore any block debuffs if the attack is critical, and it can't be resisted. Okay, cool. Dude, I'm thinking arena immediately, because stealing all buffs from all enemies and decreasing their turn meter by 20%, and then also hopefully placing a sleep. Yeah, that's a very annoying. Also ignore block debuffs. Yeah, that's a very annoying A2. Okay, interesting. Is A3 between the eyes attacks 1 enemy before attacking, places a perfect veil. Thank you. Places a perfect veil buff on this champion as well as any other assassins on the team for 2 turns. Okay, we'll ignore shield, stone skin, and block them. Ooh, places a block revive debuff if the target is killed. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Yeah, you kind of need to have Cassandra and Edward together, I feel like. Okay, and then, yep, this is same. Kill Hall. Each hit inflicted by this champion has a 50% chance of placing a 100% ensnare debuff on their target for 2 turns. Whenever this champion kills an enemy, places a 100% debuff, 100% ensnare debuff on all other enemies for 2 turns, and decreases their turn meter disaffect. Okay, okay. On all ensnare, if I remember correctly, it has something to do with turn meter and your turn meter not being enabled or something. Any turn meter increase effects received by a champion with the snare debuff will be reduced by 50 or 100%. Okay. I feel like Arena immediately, honestly. He could be kind of cool to be played in Arena. Let's have a look. Arena fence, yeah. Campaign, like, and then yeah, I don't think there's enough ratings on this, but like, yeah, I feel like this is definitely a PvP champion. Yeah, I mean, if I was more into Arena, well, I kind of am, but yeah, I also I get the feeling that the Between the Eyes hits like a truck. I really hope that's the case. There's control here. And hopefully damage, and there's definitely some more control here with the ensnare. If this guy hits like a truck on his A1 and A3, A2, I mean maybe, but these 2 abilities, if these abilities hit like a truck, then he could be very fun to play. I feel like. But yeah, all right, let's go with the next one, which is Baek. And it's Barbarians. Let's have a look-see here. Where is he? Where is he? There he is. Ooh, okay. With the shield. Wait, what the hell? He has a sword, shield, and bow and arrow. I don't recognize any of these guys except Ezio and maybe Cassandra. But okay, finally a defense-based champion and not a attack, because all of the other ones are attack. Here we go. Attacks 1 enemy, places a leech debuff for 2 turns, fills the champion's turn meter by 20%. Okay. Yeah. Pretty straightforward. Desert Zephyr attacks all enemies, places a 50% decrease accuracy debuff and 50% decrease resilience debuff for 2 turns. Also places a provoke debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. If a target is under 3 or more debuffs, places a okay. Dude, whenever I hear provoke, I'm thinking Hydra. I don't know why. Okay. Books down to 8 to 3 turn. Decreased resilience is kind of nice. The provoke is also kind of nice, especially on all enemies. Prayer of the Magi places a 50% increased accuracy buff on all allies for 2 turns. Also place a perfect veil buff and a 60% increased debuff on all allies except this champion for 2 turns. Place a 60% increased defense buff on this champion for 3 turns. Goes down to a 4-turn cooldown. Yeah. Again, with the, I guess this is how they synergize, where like everyone's kind of I don't feel like he relies on Perfect Veil at all. No, he doesn't. But all the other ones rely on Perfect Veil, and I feel like that's how they sort of tie all of the assassins together to some degree. But okay, here's his passive. Siva's Pride. This champion and their allies cannot receive critical hits from enemies whose accuracy is equal, or lower. Whoa! Holy shit! And then here's okay, damn, dude, damn. If you put A3 A3 on everyone, because the other enemies or the other assassins, I feel like, could be wrong, but squishy to some degree. I don't definitely not on the tankier side, but I feel like they are more the squishy side. But this combined with that is kind of cool. That's very nice synergy. Yeah, and then whenever from an assassin they received interesting. The thing is, I feel like he could be good with other champions. It's just the perfect veil that sort of ties it together with the other assassins. However, I feel like I might go for this guy, to be honest. Especially the provoke. I don't have many provoke champions, and sometimes you need the provoke. And that combined with this and like, I love this combo right here. This is freaking cool. It started off kind of meh, to be honest, but these bam bam boom bam boom bam boom boom might need to have actually, and a definitely nice to have. All right, now we're gonna go with Pontiff, which is Knight's Revenant. I really hope this is the guy. This is the guy that fucks. This is the guy that's like really cool. Really cool. This is the guy that's gonna blow my socks off. Hopefully. Event champion. Oh shit. What? This champion can... Oh my god, this makes me just want him. Just to want him. Oh my god, you can't get him anymore after this. By the way, I really love that they specify this, because they didn't do that with other champions in the past. You're like, oh man, there's such a FOMO. We're like, am I able to get him later on with a shard or not? Oh my god, like... But I love that they did this. I love that they did. Well, maybe they did... Well, fuck, man. Now I'm thinking this champion can no longer be someone from shards. So you can't really get him from shards. It's an event thing. Aren't the other assassins also that? Because that was the thing with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You could only get them during the event and then they're gone. But, man, okay. And also Void, by the way. Okay, and support. Oh my god, oh. And then look at him, bro. Look at this. Why is he not the Pope? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he probably is. But, like, why not the Pope? IRL. Oh, look at the hand thing. Like, it's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It looks cool. Look, man, that's cool. I wish, by the way, the highest HP of all the other champions. I really hope he will blow my socks off. Speed is also good. Oh my god, please. Okay, let's go through his kit. His A1. Edenic Blades. Attacks one enemy. Has a 75% replacing. Oh my god, bro. Block active skill. Debuff for 2 turns. Steals 5%. Oh my god, bro. Block active skills is so nice. It's something I don't have. I really need. And oh my god. I feel like this is the guy I'm saving Sacred Shards for. I don't know what kind of event it's gonna be, but damn. Okay, please. Oh my god. Dude, bro. Oh my god, dude, bro. Like, oh my god. I just. Oh my god. Okay. I just saw remove all buffs from all enemies, and I was like, oh god damn, yes, fuck yeah. Okay, hold on. Let's read this kit, shall we? Okay. Shit, I need to calm myself down. Dude, I really want this guy. Dude, this is what I'm talking about. I want this kind of reaction when I read it through new champions. All right, let's get. Oh, I can't talk. Let's go through this. Has a 75%. I'm getting a little bit teary. I'm not kidding. That's a tear right there. Has a 75% chance of placing 100% and snare debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. This debuff will ignore any block down. Okay. Also decrease the turn meter of all enemies by 25% if an enemy is under 3 or more debuffs. Okay. You know, fuck, man. Okay. I mean, the snare, cool. Again, yeah. Okay. Man, I got a bit too hyped. Yeah, the ensnare thing is kind of cool. Removes all buffs from it. Okay. Yeah. Dude, wow. I'm going through an emotional roller coaster with this champion. Okay, here we go. He's A3. Jeez. Ethereal Benediction. Places a 50% increase accuracy buff for 2 turns and 1 instant stack on all allies. Also fails the turn. Okay. Then grants an extra turn. Ooh. I need to go through the intercept thing. What is that? If I remember correctly, intercept is on pinpoint gear. If I remember correctly. And oh my god, holy are you fucking kidding me with this text? This is like all abilities and all legendaries combined. Okay, here we go. The intercept buff will block any attempt to place a crowd control debuff on a champ. Like, by the way, reading here to here, I'm gonna forget all about this ability. But okay, here we go. The intercept debuff will block any attempt to place a crowd control debuff on a champion. Cool. Even if it's specified in the champion's, even if it's specified in the enemy skill that the debuff itself can be blocked. This includes stun, freeze, sheep. Okay, cool. That's cool. Okay. First part blocks any attempt on crowd control. Cool. A champion can receive multiple stacks of intercept buff. Each intercept stack. Okay, cool. Will block 1. After the attempt, 1 intercept stack will be removed. Cool. The intercept buff has no duration, therefore cannot have its duration increase or decrease. Oh, okay, cool. If a crowd control debuff is placed on a champion that has an intercept stack will not be removed. However, if a crowd control debuff too long didn't read well. Debuff that cannot be blocked is placed on a champion with both intercept and block debuffs and intercept. Okay. Okay, so what? Okay. If a crowd control debuff that can be blocked is placed on a champion who is immune to that debuff, an intercept stack won't be removed. However, if a crowd control debuff that cannot be blocked is placed on a champion who is immune to that debuff, an intercept. Okay. Bro. There must be like, I feel like the intercept is kind of nice, but it intervenes with so much other shit that they just need to like, oh, by the way, and then but and then it's like, okay. If a champion is under an intercept buff and another intercept buff with less stacks than the champion currently has is placed on them, the number of intercept stacks on the champion remains unchanged. Champion steals an intercept stack, intercept buff from an enemy. It also steals as many intercept stacks. Okay, so the whole thing. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. That's pretty cool. That's fucking good, isn't it? I feel like that's good. That's really good. That's like, damn. Damn. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with a damn. Well, here's his passive. Your Eminence. Allies receive 25% less damage from enemies under block damage, unkillable, veil, perfect well, stone kill. Okay. Well, this goes well with the other assassins as well. Each time an enemy receives is healed or has their turn meter filled, has a 50% chance to decrease the duration of all their buffs by 1. Holy shit. Occurs once per skill and once per target. There are multiple champions on the team with this skill, which, I mean, okay. With a 24% in all, in all battles. In all, that's the biggest one, right? In all battle, yeah, I believe so. Or maybe am I missing something? Guys, if you know, let me know. But like 24% in all battles. That's like, that's damn. Oh, man, he's kind of cool, bro. Like, he's kind of cool. He's really cool. I feel like the A2 are kind of hyped up a little bit, but damn, man, damn. That's an A3. That's 3 turn book down, and then there's a 4 turn book down. Okay, man. I love when there's champions that makes me go like makes me sort of question my decision. It's kind of cool, man. It's kind of cool. Oh, damn. Yeah, man. Okay, if I would rank these guys, from like, yeah. As I said, if I would rank these guys, I would definitely go with Pontiff Augustine first. It's like boom, highest. Yeah. Then I would go with Bayek. I didn't know. I'm a little bit surprised about that, but or no, well, like I mean, I haven't read through all their kits, but like. Bayek is damn, man. Damn, yeah, for me, Bayek is number 2, 100%. Then, the thing is, Edward Kenway. My Swedish came out of me. Edward Kenway. Let's try that again. Edward Kenway. Oh, dude, almost fucked it up again. I feel like he could be fun in arena. Other than that, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, wait. Ezio would be 3rd place for me. Yeah, no. Shit. Yes, he would be 3rd place. Ezio would be 3rd place. And then we have Basim, which, bro, like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm missing something here, but like, yeah. He would be 4th place, in my opinion. And then we have Cassandra, which is the new faction. Interesting. Sounds fun. In theory, altogether, I don't feel like she's gonna be all that great, honestly. So she would be 5th place. And yeah. That's all the assassins for Assassin's Creed. I just want to say just, you know, before calling this video, just ending this, I want to ask a serious question. There's a couple questions here, actually. Are you going for them? Are you going for any of these? Except everyone gets Ezio, but like, are you going for one in particular, or are you going for them all? If you're going for one in particular, which one? Which ones? I am eyeing Bayek, and I'm also eyeing Pontiff first. Bayek is also cool. Bro, I can't make up my mind. But all in all, this collaboration compared to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle wins times 500, times 100, times 50, times 50. I'd say, yeah, that's how I feel about it. Just the intro song of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like, come on. Anyhow, that's been everything from me, guys. Let me know what you think about all the champions. I'm gonna test out Ezio, and there's probably gonna be a video about that as well. But until then, I'll see you guys next time.